Billboard. Welcome to the Global Sandwich.
Hey, what's up, everybody? So we're just talking about this, and we have no idea where it's going. But in an Islamic dream interpretation, palm trees represent ambition. So if I'm walking somewhere and palm trees, and I'm thinking about something, and then all of a sudden palm trees fall down, that's like letting go and allowing. So there can be human ambition. There could be the ambition of individuals, the ambition of communities that's more centered in greed, but there can also be God's ambition. And when I talk about God's ambitions, I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about the agape God.
Yeah, like
Or
getting wild to save people in war, for
say
example.
that again.
Like being really ambitious about saving people from being destroyed in a war, for example.
Yeah. But even like stopping stuff way before that, and the conflict, and catching things early, and being more selfless.
Oh, by the
That
way, Dasha came to my party on Saturday,
Oh,
so
nice.
we can talk about that. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
sure.
nothing to say about it, but yeah, it's like great to have seen her in real. She had a really good time.
Yeah, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's going on with you?
I feel better. Like I've had, like, I don't know what I told you before or what I told here in this context here, but I've had bad news in my family, health wise and so on, really bad. And so I'm doing better. I moved from emotional pain to like to being able to have strength and still and even joy and organize. It's still like really tough because there's a lot to think of things to organize. But so I'm totally overwhelmed with things to do, but I have a really positive you know I don't know, like feeling at the moment. I don't know why, but it's pretty positive. It's not always positive, but mostly. Yeah. So yeah, so and also it's the weather. Yeah, you can see me. It's like it was 37 Celsius today. Like, I mean, as hot as it can get, like, I mean, even in San Diego it rarely gets to 37. I don't know in Fahrenheit, so
Yeah, one of the things that my dad last things my dad had said to him, one of his before he died, one of his friends had passed away, and I was over at my parents' house, and he had mentioned it, and then he had mentioned something about us not taking care of him when he was older. But he mentioned him and my mom. So he said, "You guys not taking care of us when we're older." And then my dad,
so
I
he
remember when I was
instructed you
always,
to not take
what
care
was
of
that? What was that?
he instructed you to not take care of him.
No, he was. They always expected me to take care of him when they got older.
Okay.
Um, without me, I mean, I probably agreed to it when I was like 7, 8, 9.
So that's
but those are non-binding contracts.
preparing.
My lawyer broke out of those, but my inner child's my lawyer, and he broke out of those. Well, actually, they're twins. It's a he and a she. They broke out of that contract. But one of the things that and I believe there's human contracts, and then there's non-ambitious God contracts, like the universe, one that is in the world but not of the world. A contract. It's more global, but it's more universal. It's like bigger than we can even imagine. So one of the things that my dad had said to me was that something about taking care of. And when I was leaving his house, he was like always like quick to, I would say goodbye, say I'm going to my house or going to work or whatever. I would say bye, and he would like immediately, he's like doing something, he'd be say, "Hey, bye." he like immediately, like he was like quick to that. But the last time he didn't say goodbye. And I took that in as no, there are no goodbyes. I mean, in a limited, ambitious sort of way, opposed to a more with a lot of earthly blind spots and limitation. There is no goodbye. The other thing is,
You know the song by Kalkbrenner, you know this remix. I don't know if it's a remix or his own thing, but no goodbyes.
yeah.
You know this? There's no goodbyes. I can actually quickly play it.
Yeah, go ahead.
And because that's so funny that you talk about it, because actually I was listening to this a lot with my friends recently and also by myself, and it's powerful. So yeah, because he didn't say goodbye for you, that was like a sign as there will be a see you again. Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think that's. I think that's now, not necessarily in a heaven, because I don't have any. I don't know if that's true. I think heaven and hell may exist in this thing. But the other thing I want, as you're pulling up, the other thing I wanted to get into is that then I was, because my brother's married and because my other brother was being really strict with COVID, I was the one that was watching my mom. So and in my own way. So I broke the human contract that I probably signed up for as a kid and made it more, I'll say a Jedi contract. I made a contract that I was comfortable in the space to help out my mom how I could, give her enough independence, but also make her feel secure that I was even though I have my own place, I was sleeping in her house every night. That was something that made her comfortable, that kept her from going over the edge.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, I have to, before I share, I have to make something happen. I have to do this, and I'll share. Yeah, finish the thought. I can pause it.
Did you get your global sandwich flag?
No.
I just mailed it to Germany and with your name.
Okay.
I thought everybody in Germany knew each other, so they could just get it over to you.
Sure. Okay. You want to hear it now?
Yeah.
I think this is the right part. I'm pretty sure. Let me know if you can hear it. Yeah.
Here.
The right part, yeah.
That's good.
It's really dope.
Peggy 18.
No way. Oh my God.
Breaking news.
It
is hot out there.
I hope we're getting it back.
It's gonna take 2-3 minutes. Argue. Probably my favorite part of the whole thing. Is it loud enough?
Yeah.
The voice is really good. Female voice is really good.
Peggy
I guess that's the moment to stop. I love it. You like it?
Yeah. I'm not really necessarily in that type of music, but I liked it. I liked the tempo he used, and it was very hypnotic. And I could even see like the subtleness to it without being able to explain exactly what it was doing. It just felt like just a little off to like really get into your cerebellum,
Cerebellum?
part of your brain.
Ah. Have you heard of Silva?
No, I haven't.
So, I always listen to Eckhart Tolle. He's my favorite, right? So he's the for me the not in his appearance. That's what's so great about him. He's so amazing just because of his content, and that's the whole point, But anyway, so and then there on YouTube it's so terrible. There's so much advertisement. It's terrible advertisement, man. I feel like the algorithms are the dumbest algorithms in the world. Like, it seems almost like this advertisement is made to make me go angry, Like, there's always these guys that say, hey, this product and blah in my business and and I don't know, like, it feels it's every time
So
I listen
there's
to it, it feels completely fake to me. Okay.
so there's a lot of guys, and I'm gonna let you go back into, because I think you're telling something separate than that.
Yes.
But there's a lot of guys that are the top guys that are making a lot of money online, and it's very. I went to a social media conference for a lot of those successful guys, and they were the cockiest, most arrogant people ever. Like, there's like, if you
Like the people
worse than politicians, worse than athletes,
the people that were attending or the people that were doing it
people that are on stage.
on stage. Okay, yeah.
Very, very. It was all men, and I even knew one woman in the audience that would have been good to be on stage there. That was able to do what they could do at that level. It was all men. They were drinking, which I don't necessarily have an issue with, but they're like, somebody would ask a question, is like, oh, fucking somebody already asked her that fucking question. So there's lots of ego, because and I spend a lot of time alone working on my ideas and everything. So a lot of the times these guys are in their rooms and they can just send out an email and make $100,000 or like a lot of money selling products. So a lot of these guys are like really ego, and they don't have like measures in place to check their ego, and it's working for them at certain level. So they're people that are they're mentoring. They fucking, that's the first thing they take in, that shitty attitude, more than probably even like that. I mean, and trust me, like,
Then, yeah.
yeah. So they're avatars of that. They think, oh, this guy's doing this and do it. So like that's what you're seeing in a lot of those commercials, and also it's interesting because Eckhart Tolle would be the opposite of that.
Oh, total opposite. So what I was getting at was so there's always this guy. This guy was just annoying. I've actually misjudged him. It was always the same fucking advertisement that went so much on my nerves every time, about this girl that was able to answer all questions without knowing the answer, like without, before the people asked the question, she already knew the answer, kind of thing. This kind of telepathy, kind of a stupid thing. And then so like today, I think it was today, this advertisement, I was playing Eckhart Tolle, but I was lying in my bed, and when this advertisement, I clicked it away every single time. I swear it was maybe like 30 times the same advertisement. I never looked at it because I hated the first seconds so much, and I listened to it while I was in my bed and listened to the whole thing. It was really convincing. Like, it was actually a really good. It might have been total bullshit, the content, but it was convincing. It was convincing, and the way it was built, it was really well done. I have to respect for how it was done. It was only the first few seconds that threw me off because of this weird kind of accent, and because I put him in the same box with all these other guys, And so what he was talking about was the Silva method, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's total bullshit. I looked up Silva, and it's kind of kind of like hypnosis stuff, something like hypnosis. So I was wondering if you know it.
Well, is his name Marshall Silva?
I think so. Let me check.
He's a hypnotist.
Might
He's
be.
from San Diego.
Really?
I've gone to his seminars. Like I didn't like it was such a stretch. I
No.
didn't want to go.
No, I don't think it's him. Wait.
Okay.
Silva method. Let's see. Silva method. The Silva mind control. Jose Silva.
Okay.
Jose Silva. It's called the Silva mind control method. Yeah, maybe it's total bullshit, but I have to say, like, I listened through the whole thing, and it went on and on and on, maybe 30 minutes. You know, he built his case like, but it was the way it was built. It was honest. He just said like, this is what happened to me, and this and this. I mean, if this invented or
Yeah.
yeah. So what?
So I want to kind of take what you're saying, because it kind of fits in with what we're saying before, but we went on a tangent. So
yeah,
you have human ambition and then God's ambition, and I want to break that down. God's ambition for the audience. I'm not religious. Yaniq's not religious. We both came from religion, but we're thinking like a more worldly, like if it's God's the universe, if God's nature to you, if whatever the thing is outside of the self, if God is the collective consciousness for you, but just like the ambition outside of ourselves, or even
God
the
is be.
Go
That
ahead.
word for God is being. Everybody
Being.
is. Everybody is. Everything is. So the isness. Yeah.
So we're talking a more selfless existence of ambition.
Yes.
So just like the thing I was talking about my dad is we have when my dad was alive, he had, and like I still do, but I think he had more earthly blind spots. And that's why I feel like I have a better relation. I mean, he was just still alive, but I have a better relationship with him because he doesn't have any earthly blind spots anymore. And I'm open to the fact that this is all a coping mechanism. I believe it, but I'm open to the fact that there's a possibility that this is a coping mechanism of how I created a narrative to find peace. But I really believe this. So because I don't know. I mean, I probably have been out in the ether, but I haven't done that. So kind of taking what you're saying as far as the Eckhart Tolle, who would be more of somebody that's like selfless with God's ambition, lots of little effort towards making things happen and having understanding of that, and not boldly doing commercials. So one of the things I want to go back to you is a lot of that has to do with what you're searching, what ads are coming to you.
No, absolutely not. It is the exact contrary. That's why I'm so pissed off. I'm like, can you not put ads what I'm
so let's it could be consciously or unconsciously, because it could be something along the lines of the fact that the fact that you work at an university, or you're working on an app, or you're an entrepreneur or something like that. It can be in the realm of that.
Yeah. No, trust me, it's all I'm trying to say is algorithms are stupid. That's all I'm trying to say.
So friends, so I'll give you
at least, or I'm so out of the box, like as a person, that they can't put me in the grid, you know.
That's a possibility too. That's
worse than advertisement I saw 30 years ago it's worse than advertisement I see on TV. If I look at no matter what channel, and they don't know who I am, and they just put it's a lot better advertisement than the advertisement.
So if I listen to I am affirmations, sometimes I'll get those guys. I listen to Joe Rogan and Alpha Dog type stuff, guys. So I would finding the balance in between that, because I think I'm alpha compassionate, I think a true alpha is gonna like care about the people around them, opposed to intimidation and ruling over.
Of course, yeah.
I think, yeah, I think everything in the universe evolves, and I think what an alpha is evolving. Um, so but I channel into some alpha type stuff just to find the balance and say, okay, this part's good. That's just like total like bullshit type of stuff. I'm kind of like running it through my formula. So when I listen to Abraham Hicks or Eckhart Tolle and everything like that, I don't get those ads come up. But also there might be less that, but you're in a different place, and there might be less ads that are catering in that, and a lot of those people might say, oh, we need to get into Germany, so there's probably a lot of money in that region to open it up.
Yeah, of course.
So it can be a lot, but I would say there's something to it, because if you lined up two computers based on your searching and what you're typing and on a daily basis, because you're typing stuff and doing reports for other people, that's helping choose what's coming to you.
Yeah, yeah. I think you're trying to make a point that how the algorithms, like, are you trying to explain the stupidity of the algorithm?
I would say that there's some response, there's something that's happening that you're doing, but also it's not perfect.
I don't know. I'm saying
it's like,
agreeing. I have a friend. He's agreeing. He thinks that these algorithms are being sold to the people that are buying them and using them, and they're selling them bullshit. They're just being sold, and they don't realize how bad they are. Like they don't realize how.
I know a social I know a social media guy that did very well at a young age. He was the first person to do like a multi-level marketing video online, and he just on YouTube, and he just blew up. Real nice guy. But I met him in person. Good attitude. I forgot what I was gonna say about him. Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say about it. It was good though. It was good. Sorry you had to miss out on that.
It's okay.
So yeah, there's definitely intent. There's definitely things in that's happening based on that. They're watching like videos you're watching and sharing and sending messages to people that they know your age and a lot of different stuff. So there is stuff that's drawing into it. Oh, I know that some of the social media guys were buying Facebook ads just because they were monetizing, selling programs on how good Facebook ads were.
Oh yeah, okay.
So even though and Facebook ads, for some people it works. I'm not saying it's absent to that, and I think it's better than buying billboards. But these guys intentionally were buying Facebook ads so they could tell the people in their audience, buy my package for $75.
That's
to figure out how to buy Facebook ads. Go ahead.
I wanted to make before, and I forgot.
Yeah.
It is there. Of course, these guys are all ambitious ego types, and they're paying for the ads, and that's all of the people that are paying for their ads and pushing them are the ones appearing, of course, because those are the guys that YouTube is making money with. So obviously they're all going to be these types. None of them is going to say,
except for me. I don't buy it at their level.
Yes, I'm anyway. So, but speaking of billboards, have you seen the series Better Call Saul? Have you seen?
No, I haven't.
You haven't? Netflix?
No.
Okay.
No.
Have you ever watched the one with the billboard where he buys a billboard in California as a lawyer? He's a lawyer, he buys a billboard, and he spends all his money and he puts it in exactly the same shape and like a font and so on as his competitor, like a guy that he really doesn't like. and
Yeah.
and he ends up being sued and losing, and then he thinks about setting up a guy that's taking off the billboard with a letter and he's being filmed, and it's all set up, it's all to make it to the national news. And so the guy that is taking off the billboard pretends that he's falling off, and he is falling off, but he's still attached to a rope, so he falls off and he's hanging on the rope, and then he just goes. So first he goes and says, like, I'm a small lawyer, this huge law firm, and they're trying to put me down. You think it's right that I have put all my money in this one billboard, and they have like millions of dollars, and they just put me down. You think it's right? And then in that moment the guy falls off in the back, but it's all set up by him, and then he climbs up the ladder and he rescues him, and he makes it to the national news. And he's like, yes.
Nice.
And he gets lots of clients after that, So
Thanks. I don't need to watch it now.
yeah, sorry.
That's actually my plan with the Marleys. That's why I want the Marleys to sue me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They told me
He wants to meet with
I have
you.
a digital thing that them telling me to do a cease and desist, and I have a guy that says I can run the circuit if they send me a physical one. So that was pretty
But
interesting.
in America, I think this runs under freedom of speech. American laws are
So I'm protected by parody laws.
parody laws, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but also in America, you can have you can spend a lot of times in the court protecting you based on the laws that already exist.
Also stupid.
But I have my lawyer, which is me in this suit, in my lawsuit. This is my lawsuit. So I just represent myself. And I work for cheap.
And you need to film yourself while doing it, and then you'll go to the roof just like Jimmy in Better Call Saul.
That's Johnny Cochran Jr., and he doesn't practice law, he just does it. he found a loop. He doesn't practice law, he just does it. He found a loophole. When his father died, he promised that he would become a lawyer, and then he just didn't want to go to law school, so he found a loop around that. And that's actually my inner child. That was the first manifestation of my inner child, like a character that I created. I was like, oh, having a military father and going to Catholic school, it was like I've always went through this earth with a lawyer. My imaginary friend growing up was a lawyer. I had to have a lawyer to be able to figure out how to maneuver in this world to get freedom.
It just makes me think of this. What's this in the Simpsons? There's one. What's his name? Not one of Bart's, not his friend, but he's actually pretty. I don't know.
Mel, something with a
not
M?
Milhouse, but the other guy. Bart's friends. Let me check.
See, I'm much better remembering names when I have to say somebody's name or talk to them.
Okay, so
it's a lot of times.
I'm going to show him to you.
I don't remember children's names until they're old enough to talk to.
This guy here.
The bully?
No, this one. That's the bully.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but he also has an imaginary friend. So when you said it, I imagined in your childhood you were like him.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you. That my self-esteem was up here at the beginning of that, and now it's down here. but I'm right here, but here's Trump.
You will always be above Trump. Are they going to get him this time? No. There was on German TV, like the CNN of Germany, they said today that they're gonna get him because there are only Democrats trying to get him now for the capital thing, you know. And now, but when it goes through, then there will be court cases, and court cases there will be half Republicans, so it will not go through probably again.
Yeah, there was a guy in New York that was in the mafia that they called Teflon Don, and he was able never to get in trouble. Then he finally did. But I believe Donald Trump is like Teflon. He's like, it's like nothing can get to him. The people around him, a lot of them are fucked.
Yeah.
But and because I think when you made mistakes like that for so long, you get good at it. But that being said,
mistakes like that.
the stuff that Biden's sons and Biden were doing, far worse than Trump, in my opinion.
Okay, what
Stuff
are they doing?
Hunter Biden was on the board of an energy company in Ukraine, and he was getting. Do you know there's video of him smoking crack and like other stuff? And why would you put him on the board that he's making like $10 million a year, except for the fact that he's related to Joe Biden?
Oh, that's his son.
Yeah, his son. So, for instance, even if I had all the knowledge but no connections, they're not putting me on the board of one of those companies. They put him on the board because it's powerful, just because it is, but also his dad can do things. And his dad denies it, but he was at certain meetings. And some people say that's why the stuff's going on in Ukraine. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but they found one of Hunter Biden's laptops, and then they recently did a hack of one of his laptops, and a lot of the stuff's in the cloud. So, and also,
what's your source?
You can look online. I'm not necessarily saying my source. Anybody can check and look at it.
I mean, where did you?
And also, what was that? Just say Hunter Biden's laptop, and that was going to come out, but the media, like Facebook, censored it, and now it's even in the New York Times about this stuff. Like they're even talking about it in the New York Times. But around the election, they censored it. Okay. And also, you could take another thing that had happened was Joe Biden. So there's videos of people, because Joe Biden's son has video of him weighing crack.
Yeah.
3 minutes. He has video of him weighing crack, and then they have video of Biden talking about, hey,
in the past.
Recently.
Really?
Recently, yeah. But they have video of Biden, the president, when he was in the Senate, saying that if you have this much crack, and he had tons of crack, he said, if you have this much crack, you're going to prison for 5 years. Not only are we going to do that, we're going to take away. Oh, so that's targeting towards minorities. Crack's a minority drug.
Yeah, no, it's a terrible drug also.
Yeah. It's a terrible drug, but listen to the thing. They're making them go to jail for 5 years, but then they're taking away all their assets.
I know.
So for kids and everything. So that's some horrible shit.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of intent behind it.
Go to prison for drugs. It's not bullshit.
Yeah. But there's a lot of violence. There's a lot of violence around it. But why are you going to take away somebody's property too? I understand anybody goes to jail, you take away their right to make money. But even if you take Jeff, the guy that was suicided recently, he was in prison, and then he was getting weekends, and he was like had a pedophile island and doing all this shit. And then somebody's like does crack, and they're only harming themselves and maybe their family members, but then they go to away for 5, and then it's the extra thing is them taking away assets, which is
I know it's all bullcrap. Yeah.
You go ahead and shut it off. Thank you very much.
Oh,
We'll catch you next week.
Yeah. Yes, we have to stop because at this time I don't have the license. I'll have it next time again. All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, close it.
Yeah. I'm supposed to close it, or you?
No, you.
Why do I gotta close it?
Okay. So we're closing. Please leave. Leave. All right. Are you still there? No. Goodbye, dear viewers. See you next time.